Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Blue Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Chris. Guys, we had a terrific night of boxing last night. A lot of good fights on that card. We saw Fundora versus Keith Thurman. We saw Tellez versus Brian Mendoza, who knocked out Fundora 2 years ago. We saw the British heavyweight, not on the same card, on the zone. But, man, he knocked out my man, Jermaine Ugly, man. That was sad. I didn't like that at all, guys. But let's just dive into this Fundora versus Keith Thurman fight. Guys, I didn't get to do the podcast and give you my analysis of that fight or what I thought was going to happen. But I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I was giving Keith Thurman somewhat of a puncher's chance. But, guys, in reality, I don't give guys a puncher's chance in boxing. I've been in this game for a very long time, and we already know that it takes more than one punch to take a guy out, okay? I remember the words of Lennox Lewis, right? When he fought David Tua, he was actually the underdog, even with all his success. And I remember he dominated the crap out of David Tua. And I remember him telling a journalist, he said, listen, you have to have more than one arsenal to beat a champion like me. And that line always stuck to me, brother. And that's why I teach my fighters what I teach, right? Because you have to be complete in this game. You cannot just rely on one power, and that was Keith Thurman's biggest mistake in this whole fight. First of all, he's been inactive for about 3-4 years, right? His last fight was about a year ago against Jarvis, and, he knocked Jarvis out in the third round, and after that, we didn't see him again for about another year. And that plays a role in your performance, guys. Nowadays I'm beginning to see a lot of these guys not wanting to take any tune-up for their bouts, and that's a mistake. You need to take a tune-up sometimes in order for you to get familiar with that division. You understand what I'm saying? You want to feel the power of your opponent. You want to see if this is okay for you, because there's been times where fighters will go up in the division. Sugar Ray Leonard, remember, he went up and fought Lalonde, and afterwards he said, hell no, I'm coming right back down. Manny Pacquiao fought Antonio Margarito. He won, but after they asked him the question, will you stay at 154? He went, no way, right? Guys, these things matter in boxing. We got to be smart, okay? We have to have a game plan when we go in there, okay? I know that we look at Fundora, tall and skinny, but listen, there's a big difference. I remember one of my opponents in the amateurs the whole time. I knew this guy. We would say what's up to each other and everything. Never looked that much taller than me. He was 5'11", I'm only 5'5", so, he was a Fundora to me. But when we got in the ring, I'll never forget thinking, God damn it, what did this guy eat right before stepping into this ring? Because he was still skinny to everybody outside, but to me, he looked huge. And most likely that's what happened to Keith Thurman last night. Keith Thurman, listen, fighters, a lot of them have all the confidence in the world. They truly have that Warriors mentality and go in there and really believe that they're going to win. However, guys, reality is sometimes that you have to open up your mind and see where you're really at mentally and physically, okay? I felt bad for Keith Thurman last night. I really did. I don't really like to see guys get beat down like that sometimes, the way he did. You know what I mean? And another thing, guys, I'm beginning to see that there's a problem with a lot of our guys who don't know how to compete against southpaw boxers. I mean, we've seen it with Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson. Of course, I'm not discrediting Shakur Stevenson. The guy did a mastery job on that night. But we have to start teaching the fundamentals. And this is more on the coaches right now, guys, all right? But other than that, listen, I give Fundora all the credit in the world. I thought he did great. He looked awesome, just like he always does. Dangerous as hell. I don't know what opponent is actually going to give him a good fight at that division at 154 pounds. Very, very hard. I mean, we have Virgil Ortiz in that list, but with all the legal issues that he has right now, I don't know if we're going to see that fight. But that's it for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the fight. Don't forget, protect yourself at all times. Keep your chin tucked in and your guards held high, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.